say something?
Sure.
I think it's like an energetic connection. Like when you're hooking up with someone, you either like energetically have a connection with them or you don't. That's like why you're like kiss with your eyes closed and stuff. You could like feel their energy.
If I have like bad sex, it's done that night.
Yeah, but also like with that being said, I don't think it's about the number. I think it's about the ratio. Like certain people have some people just everyone wants to f them, and if they've 100 people and 7,000 people wanted to f them, that's like a pretty low ratio. If you live in the middle of nowhere, no one really wants to f you. You're not that good looking, and you slept with 10 people. That's like kind of a big deal. Maybe only 10 people wanted to f you in your whole life, and you f all of them. Like I think it's about the ratio, not the number.
Can we?
Is this like hoe math? I'm just trying to.
I'm just saying, like, it's about like the ratio. Like,
I like
it depends,
this perspective.
It depends where you live. It totally depends in the city. If you go out, how you look. Like, if everyone like that, if you're going to the pool and you look a certain way and everyone wants to you, and you're having to everyone and you're not a slut, but if like. I don't know, you don't look a certain way, you don't go out. 10 people want to fuck you and you fuck all of them. 10 sounds like a low number compared to 50, but if out of 1,000, 50's not that big.
It's hard for me to keep track of the math here. Isabella,
it's the ratio.
Wait, I'm
it's the ratio.
confused, like the difference between like ratio and like body count. Are you saying they're two separate things, or is
Yeah.
it the same thing?
No, I'm saying body count doesn't matter. It's the ratio to body count. It's about the opportunities.
Yeah, opportunities versus the body.
So like, if we both had like 100 guys wanting to us. No, like if you had 100 and I had like 1,000,
it's hard to
it
know
would be
how
so
many
different
potential
based on the
suitors you
ratio.
have, you
Yeah,
know? But
So
it's about how many
celebrities
opportunities you
lowest
took.
count, technically.
You said something about energy, a transfer of energy.
Yeah.
Is it fair to say that we all agree there's something that's spiritual happening?
Oh yeah,
Absolutely.
1,000%.
And we all acknowledge that the higher your body count, the harder it becomes to pair bond down the road.
No, because
over
I'm
time.
saying it's about the ratio.
No, I'm not.
But what if
talking
you
about
already
the
bond
ratio.
with someone and then
Yeah.
you guys decide together that you guys can go sleep with other people? And
I think-
it doesn't.
I think it'll
it
hurt the
adds to your
bond.
connection.
I think
instead of
it'll-
takes away.
The
I think it will
data
hurt
says
the
that
bond
it hurts the
long-term.
bond long term.
Maybe we babe.
bigger than the data.
I have a question when it comes to like, because you mentioned your parents, and what's your sort of sense of how you plan to talk to your child, or I think you said you want to have more kids, which is awesome. What is your sense of how to communicate like your profession and your work to your kids?
I mean, I think there's a time when your kid is mature to have the conversation about like, well, this is, entertainment, and the same way you would describe any entertainment, and we're just entertainers in this entertainment business, and everything, like, I don't feel like we're doing anything unethical by having sex, filming it, and selling it legally, and then paying a shit ton of taxes on all of that. Like, there is nothing wrong with that to me, and like, I would, when she's mature enough, just explain that to her. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with two adults agreeing to participate in a sex act off camera or on camera, and I don't think there's anything wrong with somebody starting and running a business in which they sell a product to people who want to purchase it. So I have no qualms about doing, but I also I kind of notice that this always happens where people sort of lay out the terms of our relationship or acknowledge that, we're in a relationship that's a little non-traditional. And especially in our case, we're not really a polyamorous couple per se, because, compare us to Destiny and his girl, where he has full-on sexual relationships with other girls. And I guess she knows about it, but, that's a separate thing. And then, vice versa, she sleeps with other guys. That's kind of like a more extreme version of what we have going, where it's more of just like an on-camera thing. We almost never in the past 3-4 years have really hooked up with anybody off camera. Not that we have anything against it, it just hasn't really, it's primarily a work thing from our perspective. But what people always do is that once we've sort of laid that out and everybody seems to be in agreement that there's nothing that you can really say is wrong with two adults engaging in whatever kind of acts they want to engage in, it just instantly becomes about the kid, because there's something inherently uncomfortable about us having the careers that we have and then also having kids. Now, we know a ton of porn stars who basically hide their kids away from the world and nobody knows that they have kids. And given the amount of like intense scrutiny that we've gotten over the past couple months, I can kind of understand that. We've stopped posting our kid's face on social media and stuff like that just because we don't really want her to have a life that is so defined by what her parents did for a living. But I mean, I say all that just to say that I feel like the argument against people engaging in sort of non-traditional relationships is kind of weak if you have to instantly pivot into like, well, what about the kids?
Yeah, I think there's a design of how we were created to function in a one man, one woman covenantal arrangement. Now, I think everything outside of that is unhelpful. And I think there is something wrong with, I think porn is a total net negative to society. I'm not sure how many of you guys is like fans that watch you regularly, you've met in person, and how this affects them. But I mean, Andrew Huberman did a whole long thing about what happens when someone consumes masturbates. They open up a feedback loop that's intended to be consumed with someone else. So I think it's very hard to make the argument that porn is helping people as much as it's harming people. It's keeping a lot of these guys regressed. It's keeping, I mean, the incel community, the red pill stuff, a lot of the people that rail against you guys probably secretly go and watch this stuff, which is a really bizarre thing. We've seen it with the Fresh and Fit girls. So I don't know if as a net positive, this is something, remove the kids, like this is something that you think is actually adding to human flourishing.
But everyone tries to always focus on like the extreme porn watcher, but I think that there's like very healthy porn consumers, which are probably the majority with consumption. And like, I don't think that like women consume porn too, and I don't think they're sitting around all day just masturbating to porn. I mean, we both consume it at a very moderate level. I don't know.
You guys created, so it's a bit different.
Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah,
like
but
for
we
me,
still have to watch for our own pleasure.
If I was single and I was going to go on a date, or even like if me and her are going on a date and I just want to like, you know, clear the pipes up, because I think that's one thing if we're going to get into our pickup artist bag here and we have the conversation about like how to basically prepare for a night of intimacy with a woman, you definitely don't want to be going in there with like 5 days worth of spunk inside your body. You want to definitely clear the pipes out so that you're going in there kind of fresh and you're able to actually put work in. And for me personally, that's one of the big benefits of adult content is that, you know, you can just kind of clear your mind. I don't think I feel more clear-headed at any point throughout the week than right after I J.O.'d, because that's when I like really don't have in my brain at all. It's like a total clean slate. And that's why a lot of times if I have something to write, I got to, you know, answer emails for a couple hours, I might beat off beforehand.
You don't see any value to semen retention and guys being able to control themselves if
That's the last shit I want inside my body. I want to get rid of it at any cost. Clear me out.